So, let's try a few examples. First off, starting easy, the absolute value of 8 minus 2. Well, nothing really too complicated happening here. Again, work from the inside out. 8 minus 2 is 6. Take the absolute value of 6. It's already positive, so there's nothing to do. It's just 6. Easy enough. Now what happens if we switch the order? Now we have the absolute value of 2 minus 8. Well, again, not too complicated. Work from the inside out. Start by doing 2 minus 8. That'll give us negative 6. Then we take the absolute value that is a negative number, so we negate it again, make it positive. The answer is again 6. If we think about that, the same way we thought about it before as a difference being a distance between points, it makes sense that these two would be the same answer. The distance between 8 and 2, well, that's the same as the distance between 2 and 8. Now let's get a little bit more complicated. Now we have some computations to do inside the absolute values, then we need to subtract after we're done. So again, work from the inside out. We have the absolute value of 6 minus 15 minus the absolute value of 5 times negative 4. Starting on the inside, we have 6 minus 15. Well, that's going to be negative 9. Then we have 5 times negative 4. That's going to be negative 20. Now we have to take the absolute value of those two results. The absolute value of negative 9 will be positive 9. The absolute value of negative 20 will be positive 20. Subtract those. 9 minus 20 gives you negative 11, and we're done. Again, nothing too bad there, nothing too complicated. Moving on to another example of an equation. If the absolute value of x minus 2 equals 6, what are the possible values for x? Well, now again, we have an equation with an absolute value. This will turn into two separate equations. One, where we simply have x minus 2 equals 6. The other, where x minus 2 could equal negative 6. Again, we have to account for both the positive and the negative. Once we have these two equations, we can solve them just like we'd solve any equations. Add 2 to both sides in each equation. We got our two answers, x equals 8 or x equals negative 4. Again, not too bad. One more example, if the absolute value of x plus 11 equals 23, what are the possible values of x? Just like we saw before, that one absolute value equation is going to split into two, where we have to account for the positive and account for the negative. X plus 11 equals 23, and x plus 11 equals negative 23. Again, solve each one separately, subtracting 11 in each case. That will give us our two solutions, x equals 12 and x equals negative 34.